Another state makes a move to try to sue gun companies because people do bad things. That's right. Stick by and watch this next episode of Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, the wicked best source of Second Amendment news anywhere on the web. I wanted to first off let everybody know two quick things. If you're watching this today is Monday the 17th, tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I will have the Executive Director, Sam Paredes of Gun Owners of California, will be on live with us. We're going to talk a couple things, but most important, their amicus brief on the Road v. Becerra case. That's the ammunition background check case, the background check law that's been a complete snafu. And we'll also talk the most recent Duncan v. Becerra case about the magazines, and I'll even see right from California what they think about Kamala Harris. All that tonight live at 6. Also, it's Monday. It's the Monday afternoon grind right now by Blackout Coffee. Their buy two, get one free sale was extended 24 hours until tonight. So if you missed out, you have until midnight Eastern tonight to jump in on that. Now let's get into this. There's a state senator whose name I can't pronounce. I'm going to butcher this. But here's his picture. His name is Zellnor Myrie, and he's a Democrat out of Brooklyn. And today he will be introducing a bill that will make it easier for the state of New York and victims of gun violence to hold firearms manufacturers responsible for their role in the recent rise in shootings. That's right, New York City's had a rash of shootings, just like most of our cities across the country that have totally given up constitutionality and let people run all over the city and burn stuff down and defund police and all that stuff. And they just ignore the fact that crime will rise, and shootings is part of that stuff. But what they're doing is they're seizing that probably intended consequence of their actions to try to sue gun manufacturers because a mad person pulled a trigger and was intent on doing harm. This is maddening that people or politicians think that they can sue a company for what someone does with that tool. It's like if I get driving down the street and I'm T-boned by a drunk driver who happens to be driving a Lexus, I can't sue Lexus for making that car that allowed that person to drive it even though they were drunk. It's the driver's actions. But that's what this bill looks to do. Now, Myrie had a quote that's a doozy, and I'm going to give you that here. Quote, "Every illegal gun on the street was a legally purchased gun at one time." Not necessarily. Apparently he doesn't know how some stuff works, but he's a politician. He knows everything. Now, this bill seeks to amend the state's criminal nuisance law, and it will include the sale or manufacture of products that endanger people's health or safety, which would enable New Yorkers to sue companies or individuals that violate this statute. Now, a decade ago, the Supreme Court refused to hear a case that came out of New York City, basically the same thing that this Bobo is trying to do right now. Part of that lawsuit was they wanted to say firearms manufacturers caused a nuisance in the city, but that law at that time was deemed too vague. But now Myrie's bill would clarify the fact that gun manufacturers and firearms sellers, retailers, would fall under New York's criminal nuisance law. How you like them big apples? Now there's this little thing on the books federally, and that's the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. It's been on the books since 2005. And what that does is rightfully shield firearms manufacturers from these types of frivolous lawsuits by bobos looking to sue guns out of existence. And this is a direct result of last year when the Supreme Court said that the victims and the survivors of the Sandy Hook incident could follow through with their lawsuit against Remington, which is part of the reason they're going broke as well. Now, shootings across New York are up as much as 75%, but of course that has nothing to do with the current climate of liberalism that is taking over a majority of our large cities. Actually, it's not really even liberalism, it's communism. I'll leave you with another quote from Myrie. He says, "In the wake of a gun violence epidemic plaguing the city, state, and nation, we have a duty to hold all responsible parties accountable. While communities of color have died disproportionately from gun violence and COVID-19 over the past 5 months, gun manufacturers have seen their stocks and profits soar. Something isn't right with that equation. Well, if criminals stopped killing each other and the states stopped using COVID-19 as an excuse for Marxism and communism, that wouldn't happen that way now, would it? But what do I know? That's the latest update from New York. I'll have a link down below with information on how you could reach out to State Senators Zellnor, Myrie, and let them know how you feel, especially if you live in New York City. If you're in one of the 5 boroughs, this Bobo needs to hear from you. And I say that a lot and people always kick back, but you know what, guys and gals? If we don't make ourselves heard, sometimes the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And if we don't say anything, silence is acceptance, and it helps them with their agenda. We're coming into an election here. We need to kick ass and take names. So it's time to start making some noise. Let all your friends know what's going on. Pass us along. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up. That all helps this channel grow, get through that algorithm that wants to stop us so bad. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Don't forget, tonight, the 17th of August, it's Monday, at 6 p.m., the Executive Director of Gun Owners of California, Sam Paredes, will be here to talk about all things gun control in California and the lawsuits involved. Have a great night. Take care.